Okay, we'd like to call this meeting to order.
Thank you, Mr. President. This time I'd like to recommend the approval of the agenda as presented.
Okay, do I have a motion for the approval of the agenda as presented?
I so move.
And do I have a second?
I second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Opposed? Dr. Lindsay, agenda is.
Thank you, Mr. President. This time we have a special presentation we'd like to make. Ms. Ward, if you would, come up here and join me, please. Yes, I do want you to come up here.
Well, I told Kevin that he had to come with me. You know, he was there.
Yeah, he's gonna bail on you.
Yes, yeah.
You know how he is. This is Miss Kelly Word. She's our lead nurse from the school system and the board, and I think our audience is very aware of the situation we have with a student at Muscle Shoals Middle School several weeks ago, and our staff did a real good job of responding to this situation, but Ms. Word was very instrumental in saving this student's life. And before we make a accommodation to you based on the board, I received this email, and I know that you have too, but I'd like to read it publicly. This is from the Alabama Life Start group, and it says, "Dear Nurse Word, it was a pleasure talking with you on the phone last week. Once again, congratulations to you and everyone else involved at Muscle Shoals Middle School for the amazing work that you did to save your young student who suffered sudden cardiac arrest last month. Based on your outstanding life-saving performance, we would like to officially recognize Muscle Shoals Middle School as one of Alabama's heart-safe schools. I thought you'd also like to see the following comment by Dr. Young Lau, the physician at UAB and Children's of Alabama, who has been caring for this student since the incident. And I quote, "The patient is doing superbly and would otherwise have not survived or survived with deficits if it was not due to the great response by the staff at Muscle Shoals Middle School." So I wanted to read that. A couple of days ago. And on behalf of the board, Kelly, we want to present this accommodation to you for your efforts, and again, being so instrumental in saving the student's life. And it reads, "Whereas the Muscle Shoals Board of Education and administrative staff are continually grateful and dependent upon the dedication of all employees who serve the students of Muscle Shoals City Schools. And whereas the Muscle Shoals Board of Education believes in the recognition of employees, their actions, and outstanding efforts in service to the school system and the local community. And whereas on October 15, 2018, due to the quick recognition of a severe medical emergency and the appropriate responses of lead school nurse Kelly Word, which included maintaining order in a classroom setting, direction to school personnel to contact additional medical assistance, the administration of CPR, and the use of an automated external defibrillator, the life of Skylar Wilson, 6th grade student at Muscle Shoals Middle School, was spared. Now therefore be it resolved that the Muscle Shoals Board of Education recognizes and commends Ms. Kelly Word for her professionalism and life-saving actions demonstrated on October 15, 2018, and be it further resolved that a copy of this accommodation be entered into the minutes of the Muscle Shoals Board of Education, and that a copy be presented to our lead nurse, Ms. Kelly Word."
I know most of y'all well enough to know I don't like this attention. I told Tony on the way over here, I said, "This is the worst part of all of it." But I do want to say, I mean, I'm honored to receive this, but without the Lord, there's no way that would happen. I mean, I truly believe the circumstances were all laid out to where everybody was where they needed to be. So I have to give glory to Him for this. And also, I want to thank you and the board and the administrators, because if we didn't have the support to have AEDs in place and the trainings that we have, things could have turned out very differently. So thank you for supporting me. I don't think there's ever been a time I've asked for something that you haven't, all of you, have gone above and done everything we needed. So thank you too, and thank y'all. Where's the raise? Thank y'all.
Not on the agenda tonight, but we'll work on that. Thank you, Kelly.
We're not.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mr. President, I have no correspondence to present at this time, and our school presentation tonight will be Muscle Shoals Middle School in care of Mr. Kevin Davis. Jason. Very good, very good. Mr. Davis and Dr. Holt, it was 3 minutes right on the dot. He wanted me to point that out. All right, thank you, Mr. Davis. Good job on that. Moving further, under business action items, the consent agenda resolution. For the consent agenda, the board has been furnished with background material on each item or has discussed the item at previous meeting. Consent agenda items should be acted upon with one vote without discussion. If a board member wants to discuss any item, it will be pulled from the consent agenda
and voted on separately. Tonight, the consent agenda consists of the following: minutes of the October 15, 2018 regular meeting, bills and accounts for September. The September financial report and those bank statements have been reconciled. The October financial report and those bank statements have been reconciled. Bills and accounts for October, the 2018-2019 sick leave bank committee, 2019-2020 school calendar, 2019-2020 employee 12-month calendar, and the CNP financial procedure for meal payment and meal charging. Does any board member wish to have any consent agenda item pulled from the consent agenda tonight? Hearing none, Mr. President, I recommend the consent agenda as presented.
A motion for approval of the consent agenda items.
I move that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Dr. Lindsay, consent agenda items approved.
Thank you, Mr. President. Under item B, I recommend the personnel report as presented.
Have a motion for the approval of the personnel report as presented.
I'll make a motion that we approve the personnel report as presented.
Have a second?
I'll say.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you, Mr. President. For the benefit of the audience, the personnel report consists of the following. Under item 1, leave of absence, Jenny Ogletree, system-wide speech teacher from approximately January the 2nd, 2019 through April the 8th, 2019, but we will be flexible according to medical needs there. Under item 2, we have several of other and/or contract employment or supplemental assignments. Stephen Lawler, $2,500 for additional video editing duties assigned by the head football coach. Matt Jones, clock operator for the 2017-2018 season for middle school boys and girls basketball teams. We should read 2018-2019. For school, for boys and girls basketball teams, $20 a game. We'll get that one changed. Item 3, Monica Jeffries, CCLC coordinator stipend at 2 locations. This stipend amount is included in the approved budget for the 21st Century Community Learning Centers grant and is funded through those grant funds. Bethany Woods, homebound instruction for Muscle Shoals Middle School student from approximately November 13, 2018 through May 22nd, 2019, and that is subject to change based on medical reevaluations of the student. Item 5, Chad Holden. This is an annual $250 for AP coordinator honorarium, and that is to be paid from the College Board. Item 6, Perry Swindle for $4,879.77 for organization and instruction of private football camps for the summer of 2018, and that is paid through the Gridiron Gals. Ricky Golston and Ron Walker for additional pay, 11.5 hours of work at the TBI marching competition at 1.5 times the pay rate, and that is to be paid with band funds. Dr. Marianne Stegall, she served as the chief statistician for the Alabama State Marching Band competition, and her stipend is to be paid from the event-generated funds. That concludes the personnel report. Mr. President, under item C, I recommend the consideration of board policy update 3.8.1, purchasing for procurement policy. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I am now. Looking at 2 different.
Okay, this is to table this policy.
No, it's not table it yet. It's got a vote on it, then we table it.
I know, but it is too. Okay, I'll call for a motion.
I make a motion that we recommend a revision of board policy 3.8.1.
Okay, my bad.
I'll
Thank
second.
you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, no vote is taken at this time. Okay, any discussion? Okay. This policy action should be tabled to the next regular meeting to allow for dissemination to the organizational group for review. And now, call for a motion to table this policy.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we, table board policy 348.1, purchasing procurement policy.
Now, do I have a second?
I second.
We have got to vote.
Okay, and then do I have a vote to table? All in favor? Opposed?
Thank you, Mr. President. At this time, under the superintendent's report, I have several things to report tonight. Obviously, our monthly work-based learning program update. At this point, from the Pathfinder program at the Career Academy, gross wages earned since August of 2018 by our students are almost now at $30,000 for this school year already. Our students have worked over 4,255 hours, and the economic impact to date is $208,116.37 on that program. So Ms. Stonesider oversees that. Ms. Harold, of course, they do a great job with that program there. Also like to recognize and let you know, and I think you know by now, last weekend our band participated in the first annual state band competition, and our Muscle Shoals High School band are the 6A state champions of the band. Also like to congratulate our volleyball team that made it to the Elite Eight and played in Birmingham at the state tournament. Real proud of them. Also like to remind you, your football team has advanced to the second round. They play on the road tomorrow night at Pinson Valley. The ranked team in 6A, so it should be a great game down there. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock. Just got in from Birmingham myself just a little while ago, and all three of our cheerleader groups, the middle school, the junior varsity, and the varsity, have all qualified for the state competition at Wallace State in December. So proud of all three of those groups. And Melanie Hester and Karen Thigpen and Danielle Hillman for the job that they're doing with those squads. Also, congratulations to Ms. Burton and Ms. Sherrill on obtaining their National Board Certified Teacher renewals. So we're proud of those teachers who have gone on that. Students in AP Computer Science attended a competition at Northwest Shoals Community College on Monday, October the 29th, and brought home some awards. Computer Science, Computer Maintenance, there was a first place tie between Braden Hall and Clay Davis. A second place tie between Jackson Butler and Jackson Robinson. Third place went to Owen Tinkham. For web design, we had a second place finisher, Casey Arthur. And for cybersecurity decryption, we had first place Jennifer Wade, second place Grayson Thornton, and third place Ben Perks. So congratulations to those students. Annual 4-H contest, poster contest. We had some winners from an elementary division. Winners from Muscle Shoals. Hannah Puckett was fourth place in the poster contest. She's a McBride student. Joshua Tucker was honorable mention in the poster contest. He's from Webster. Cameron Bostic was honorable mention in the poster contest, and he attends McBride. So be sure to recognize those. The theater department, Muscle Shoals High School, competed in the district competition known as the Walter Trumbauer Theater Competition. They were entered in one-act plays as well as some other individual events, and they are going to state. That will be held in Montgomery on November the 30th through December the 1st. And with that list, I'm just going to read the names of the students, but all of them either placed in state or received superior or excellent ratings for this. Emma and Riley Grace, Garrison Campbell and Nick, some of these don't have last names on, Kristen and Maggie, Brianna and Maggie, Hannah and Erica, Riley Grace and Kara Grace, Danielle, Greer Underwood, Kristen Lyles, Andrea Peoples, Danielle, Sam South, Garrison Campbell, Maggie Phillips, Ethan Miller, Nick Bracken, Erica Williams, Anna Kay Thompson, Mariana Rios, Austin Hall again for a different area, Ethan Miller, Caleb Kirk, Alyssa Bogan, Riley Grace Inman, and wherever that group is was the Fighting Demons. So this is a group of them there. Congratulations to them. That sounds interesting. Yeah. I'd like to also commend and recognize the Muscle Shoals Middle School 7th and 8th grade volleyball teams this year. They finished with winning records. The 7th grade team placed first in the Ruskell tournament, and the 8th grade team placed first in the First Metro tournament. Also like to commend and recognize the 8th grade football team for their back-to-back undefeated regular seasons. They were coached by Paul Ellis, Brandon Aldridge, Neil Barker, Tim Underwood, Andre King, Skylar Kirshner, Matt Jones, Jeffrey Woods, and Kai Malone. So congratulations to them. I'd also like to commend and recognize the Muscle Shoals Middle School math teams for recently competing and placing in the 16th annual Muscle Shoals Middle School math competition. We had math teams from all around the state in this competition. The 7th and 8th grade teams placed first overall. The 6th grade team placed second overall. The 6th grade team is coached by Kathy Below, and the 7th and 8th grade teams are coached by Chris Porter and Mary Frances Wright. So congratulations to those. And also would like to commend and recognize all of the faculty and staff and students at Muscle Shoals Middle School for recently raising over $2,500 for their annual service project. This money was donated to the CODA Foundation in the name of Caitlin McGuire. CODA stands for Children's Organ Transplant Association. Caitlin McGuire is a 7th grade student with us at Muscle Shoals Middle School, is currently on the waiting list for a liver transplant. So they also, all of our entire faculty, staff, and student body participated in a project called Taking It to the Streets. Each homeroom selected a charity or organization throughout the Shoals area, which they provided some type of service on Friday, November the 9th. I'd like to especially recognize 7th and 8th grade history teacher Melanie Shockley. Ms. Shockley was responsible for organizing and directing the service project. Our students had a full day of character development service that will help mold their future pathways for years to come. So I want to thank Ms. Shockley and Mr. Davis and his staff and that was very well organized, and they were all at the community for those service projects this past Friday. Mr. President, that's all I have to report.
Okay. You have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I got a second.
I'll second.
All in favor? All right. Be adjourned. All right.
Hey, James?